Hi, and welcome to Underrated Underthinkers podcast. That's a host, Joe.
Yo.
I'm the best host, Matt. Today
Mm,
we sort of had a topic. We we played some Monster Hunter uh Wilds over the weekend.
woo,
It was fun.
for the
And
most
that is
part.
the end of the podcast. Please come tune in next week.
Ah,
Um no, it's a great game. I've been having a blast. Joe's just upset because he's had PC problems all weekend. Nothing to do with the game running bad. It's just Joe's having issues with the game.
yeah. Uh,
And and I know one of your complaints now. You said, "Oh, they didn't teach me how to use this." They did. I remembered where the tutorial was, and you were fucking complaining through the whole time because of your audio.
yeah, it's in the
So I
very
don't. I
first
think,
intro. They show you how to shoot it. I knew how to shoot it. But that's it.
yeah.
That's all they tell you
No,
about it.
they show you how to gather too. You gather the screamer pods.
I don't remember that at all. Like, I don't
I
remember doing that.
Yeah, because I think you were yelling at your computer saying, "This game's dumb. This game's not working."
Where did they show you to do that?
Right at the beginning when you're getting chased by the worms.
I don't remember gathering anything during that. I just remember him
Yeah,
telling me to shoot. And that's all
yeah,
I did.
you gather then shoot.
I don't think I gathered.
I remember.
I'm pulling up the VOD, checking. I would
But
know.
yeah,
I
I've had a
went through it
blast.
twice.
But yeah, I mean, at least I did it during the tutorial was gather some.
YouTube. All right, why don't you just tell them when it released, what in the series, what is Monster Hunter, do all that fun
This
stuff.
is um Monster Hunter. Uh, um,
Great, great description.
you're welcome. You hunt monsters. You craft armor. You hunt stronger monsters. You craft better armor. Um, so I've completed the story. I don't know which iteration this is of Monster Hunter. There's a lot of them. Um, but it actually it might hit record sales. Um, for the month of February, it was number 2 in sales, and it came out the last day of February, and it ranked 2 on Steam. Um,
What was first?
what is it called? Kingdom Come Deliverance. It was at 100 and
Oh,
like it was at 120 million or 120 some sales. I think it was 120. Let me look it up. Let me look at it again because it was at a lot of sales. Um, but it came in second at like 60 something.
huh. Interesting.
But it's looking like it might surpass a lot of stuff because of how many it sold. Like in money wise, by the way, 118 million for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Monster Hunter Wild on being only 1 day in February made 70 million.
Huh.
Yeah, made a shit ton of money in 1 day. Um, they
Okay,
think
I see where they make you grab
across.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
So I guess I didn't think of that being what it was. I didn't realize the screamer pods came from those flying dudes.
yep,
I thought I was just grabbing one.
yep. You're welcome.
I see it.
But they're thinking this game might hit 20 million sales across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sold a lot of copies. Um, but yeah, it's made a lot of money. That's for
I'm
sure.
sure it has.
Um, but yeah, what else should I talk about the game? I don't want to spoil the story, but I have beat the game. It is a good story. I thought I'm in the post game part of the story now.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's how was your experience, Joe, with it?
It's
You had a different
eh,
experience than I did.
I've had a very different experience than you have.
Joe's got his ass kicked.
Quite a bit. God. Okay, this game's way too fucking loud. There, I can finally hear. Yeah, so like Matt said, I had a lot of audio issues to begin with. Really, it was my capture card.
Yeah,
Something to do
it
with the
was not the
softwares
game.
and I think the physical card wasn't seated well in the slot. So I had to take everything out, put it back in, did some updates on stuff, which of course broke other things. Then had to do it again, and yada yada. I had like uninstall, reinstall programs. That was the majority of like it released on Friday. I spent all Friday night after I got off work, kind of just fixing it until I finally got on around like what 8 or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I only streamed for like 3 hours because I was so fucking done. Um, I enjoyed it. Like once I got it working, honestly, all my stuff's been PC issues. The only thing I kind of disliked that we talked about was the whole I like I don't know, I just haven't used anything like any of the inventory stuff. Like I haven't touched anything. I feel like I've only been fighting with like your main weapon and that's all I've done. And I've made it through I think a good portion of the story now. I just I don't know. Feels like they kind of left it just open. Like I haven't had to learn anything. And I don't think it's because I've just been ignoring it.
You did ignore that one.
I I I did and I didn't. I understood how it worked. You'd gather materials for or the ammo or whatever because auto crafts the stuff, right? You just get the material and auto makes the screamer pods or whatever, right?
For some things, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
that's really not a
understood that,
craftable.
but it's not really craftable, but it's kind of how auto works. I don't know. There's not much explanation to how all that goes. Like one thing that was bugging me is not being able to switch the pods you're using.
Well,
That didn't make much sense to me,
you can and you can't. Some pods you can use in your inventory and some you can't.
which I think they should all be on like a slider, kind of like how, you
But
have your inventory down the bottom.
well, some you have to find every mission. Aren't given them. You can't collect them.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
dumb.
So like those screamer pods, you get some of them. You can keep some of them on your person. Um,
Yeah.
the dung you can keep on your person. Rock blast pods you cannot keep on your person. Same with regular stone and bright moss. I don't think.
Really?
So some you have to find, and some items don't get. Some just don't count as real items. Basically, some are just. Um, oh, how do I put this? I don't know. Some are. It's just some are just for like quest only items.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of all that, but that's about it. The fights are really cool. I really like all the monster designs and stuff. Every time I see one, I'm like, ah, fuck, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. They look so
And he
like mean.
and he did get his ass handed to
And I
him.
did get my ass handed to me. It's funny, the one that Bomba struggled with was the one I was doing A-okay on, and I was even weak to it. I don't understand what was so bad about that one.
Yeah,
I
no.
I was chilling.
Yeah, Joe's and my experiences have been completely different with the game. Um, Personally, I have not died yet.
Nice.
I have not died, and I have not failed a quest.
I've failed, like, twice, which, I mean,
Yeah,
not hateful. I just part of it was just still me learning how to play the fucking game. Like, I didn't know about being able to grab supplies from the bird, your mount, I guess. So that kinda screwed me because if I like, when we were fighting that, the squid dude, uh, I wouldn't have died at all if I knew I had heals,
he
but
says that now, but we don't really know.
I knew because I was doing A-okay until I, like, ran out of potions and I was like, "Shit." So I kinda just ran around for a while, and then I eventually got hit by something and died, but I was doing fine, but it's it. I don't know. Story's interesting. I'm digging it. The visual style of the game's great. Good graphics.
Yeah.
Apparently, the only complaints I've heard about the game so far are performance issues
Well,
on
I've only
PC.
heard for PC performance, but
Yes,
the game does run hard. The game runs
yes.
really hard.
Well, also
But
people are playing with shit PCs. That's the
yeah,
other issue, and they're probably cranking up their settings.
this is an intensive game.
Yeah, I heard this one lady that was bitching about playing on a 4060. I'm like, a 4060 is not a high end card. A
Mm-mm.
4060 is a new medium end card, maybe. I don't know. Medium, I consider like this 20s or the 4070s or something, or 70 ends. But I don't know. I was like, honestly, your specs are probably just, you're probably not running what you should be. Probably trying to run it, 1440p, high graphics or something. But if you keep it to 1080 on like medium to high graphics, and the majority of people should be fine. I don't know because I haven't played it on PC yet to test. But the PlayStation, it runs just fine. I haven't really noticed too much going wrong on it, but
Y-
they're optimized for that stuff.
Right. It's a PlayStation game. Like it
Yes.
really is. It was made. The first one came out on PlayStation 2.
It's just
Um,
so funny. All like this is the same complaint you have with every game that's made for a console. Like I don't know if people
right.
just haven't got it through their head yet, but it's like all these have been customized for the console specifically. They are ported over to the PC, not, that wasn't their main intention when they first went about making the game. I'm sure it'll buff out here later once they get some more data in and can update stuff, but till then, it's probably not going to run very nice. I think it was like the same thing for like Elden Ring, I'm pretty sure had that problem. Basically any
I
big
think so.
AAA
Yeah.
game's gonna have that issue.
Yeah. Well, it's just not made for it.
It
People
is
shouldn't
not
be
made for it.
like. I don't know. The game runs great on PlayStation.
Yeah.
It
I
really
have no
does.
complaints about that. Yeah, it was
I've
going
had
just fine.
even online on their servers, I have not had a problem loading and anything
Well, I
like
think
that.
it's running the game at 30 FPS, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I
Instead
mean,
of
which isn't
60.
bad. I mean, I mean,
I don't notice anything. And it's not one of those games where you need it.
no, I turned off motion blur too. I mean,
I didn't do that.
I don't like that motion blur.
I don't know if I did or not actually. I don't
I changed
remember.
a bunch. I changed a bunch of my settings right when I started.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. There's just a few things that I don't personally like as far as gameplay, like just like controls or like mechanics. Like the
Ye-
main mechanics I do enjoy. I like all the different weapons. I like how they have their own combos and different abilities. Some of them look really cool, but it's funny when you watch the damage count on them. It's like it looks like they're doing a lot, but they're not doing much of anything.
Yeah, the weapons. I mean, th- they don't like high damage numbers. Like none of the
No,
monster hunters do have like insanely high damage.
no.
It's all low damage numbers. It's
I'm still, well, I guess I haven't used my new weapon yet, but I was still putting out like 40 damage tops for like when I ended my stream last time.
oh, I'm doing 40 right now. 40 and 12s.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it. Of
I
course,
mean,
I just upgraded my weapon. I kind of stuck with the same weapon for a while because it looked cool. I wasn't going for stats, but from what I've learned after post game, you can make a weapon to the stats and then you can layer the skin on top. Is that what I'm understanding?
yes. So you can yeah, that's exactly right. You just have
Okay,
to craft them in high rank.
which is fine, which is really cool. I'm glad they put that mechanic in because that, like, as soon as I mentioned, I was like, "Ah, this would be such a cool idea." And apparently, someone else had the same idea, which I like when games have that stuff because, like, I like it's nice when the game like it's not focused around aesthetics, but they definitely kept it in mind. It's like my character, like when you're building a character in a game, sometimes you're just looking at stats and your character looks like a fucking dweeb. Like it just looks stupid. You got mixture of all different, styles of gear. Like right now I'm wearing like a fancy little cape or something, then I have a freaking weapon that looks like it's from Majora's Mask or something.
Mhm.
But it'll be neat when I can actually like fully do what I want. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess you could talk about which weapon you're running. So like, there's 14 weapons total, correct?
Yeah,
14.
14
Okay,
weapon types. I am running gun lance, which is
nice.
a gun and a lance. Pretty
Pretty
explanatory.
self-explanatory. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I think that's what I accidentally put as my secondary, and I always accidentally whip it out, and I pisses me off because
It
I'm trying to like
does it
scroll through my.
does it shoot fast or slow?
I don't know.
Because
I
there's a couple like gun weapon
Oh,
things.
you know
Is
what?
there?
I might have accidentally picked, yeah, one of the other ones. Now that I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it,
I think
I
you
don't think
might
it's a
have
gun lance. I think it's the
the crossbow.
crossbow. Yeah, I don't know which one. 'Cause isn't there like two or three?
There's an auto crossbow, a bow, and a um regular crossbow. I think
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I have a big one, so probably
it's
I don't
probably
know.
the auto.
It was on accident. I don't use the secondary weapon. I literally just use my main one. I honestly was gonna do a run with a bow, but then I was like, I don't know.
Ap- Apparently, the bow is really good.
Yeah, it looked like it, but maybe I'll. Who knows? Maybe I'll just go and play it again, or maybe I'll switch out when I get to post game or something.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to post game, you can do hunts with any weapon. You don't really
Yeah,
have to like start a new game to run with a new weapon. You
yeah,
can, which is nice.
yeah. It's really cool. So I guess I should mention I ended up going with the charged blade, which is actually I really enjoy it. It's a neat mechanic. So basically, you have a sword and a shield, and then you can switch it into the axe mode, which is like the shield becomes like the axe head and stuff, and that's like heavy damage, more range. And I haven't got much use out of the shield yet. I still don't understand my weapon completely. I do and I don't. I know some of the combos and I know how to get off some of the like um special like attack stuff. So the charged weapon, you have like 5 files up at the top of your screen. They're empty to begin with. You start swinging around your sword, hitting an enemy. Those will slowly charge up. So they'll start flashing like white and then gold or yellow and then red. And then once they become red, if you keep hitting, your attacks will be deflected. Like they don't do any damage. So what you do then is you like kind of sheath your sword into the shield. And what that does is it fills those files up at the top. And then you're allowed to use your sword again. But once all your files are filled, and normally you want them to be like totally maxed out. Like you could have them all the way filled, but then there's like a next step above it if you like extra charge them, which is what you normally want to go for. And then as soon as you get those filled, you switch into the axe mode and you can do like elemental, like charged attacks. And that's what gets you the extra damage. And there's apparently a way to get like the rage axe, or I don't know if that's what they call it, but it's like the um a more powered up version of the axe mode, which the axe turns into like a saw at the
Hmm.
end, and it's like for a limited time. And the ways you get that, I'm pretty sure, are from deflecting an attack perfectly with a shield,
Oh yeah,
or
a perfect guard, which
yeah,
is
which
fun to do.
I have not. I don't use my shield that often, which is probably part of my problem. But
Yeah.
um, the issue is just timing. I'm not great with timing with the controller. I'm still getting used to it. Um, but the other way to get it is you can jump on top of a monster's back. So I don't know if I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you know kind of what Monster Hunter is. There's giant monsters, um,
Giant
and
monsters, you
they're,
say?
yeah, yeah, they're really big because the way you do it is you're on your mount and you can jump behind them to get on top of them. And while you're on top, you can do like a bunch of slashes. And then once you open a wound, you can do a finisher move on it. And doing that finisher also unlocks the Rage Axe mode. So that's why I always try for it. And it's like it's a limited time thing, but it lasts for a while. and you kind of want to have your files filled by then to get the most out of it. But I really like the way the charge blade works. There's just like some things like I'm talking about the shield. So you have your like three above the files. You have like your like a symbol for your sword, shield, and axe. The axe will like glow when you're in the rage mode. I've had the shield glow before, and I don't know what the fuck I did, and I don't know what it
Uh,
does.
Sometimes a shield will like glow when you for a perfect guard. Um, like the timing
Huh.
on a perfect guard.
I think
Like
it
for
would
me,
normally
um,
tell you if you got a perfect card. Like I'm saying it like stays up there for a while, kind of like it does when I
oh,
get the charged axe.
oh yeah, I don't know. Like when I get a perfect guard, um, I like load my gun and then shoot the guy in the face. Um, because you get the perfect guard, then you spam triangle at least on PlayStation, because then it's a power struggle, and it's actually really cool. I got it on the final boss. I got it on the second to final boss, and I've gotten on several others, like little mini bosses.
Huh.
Like, and it's a really cool like fight. Like it makes it intense. I did it during Bomba's fight too when I was helping Bomba.
Huh.
Um, but it's an awesome mechanic, I think, because like it locks you two in like combat together. Like he's pushing up against my shield, and I'm fucking pushing back, and it's just cool. And then like so my final fight was pretty fucking sick. I like jumped on his back a couple times. I fucking did the power struggle. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know if everyone gets this experience, but fuck, mine is cool as shit."
Oh, okay. So what is it? Okay, so shield, elemental boost, hold down circle while charging, spends files to enter elemental boost, which will enhance your guard and allow you to perform axe super amped elemental discharge. Is that not what I was already doing? What I need to do is watch the video you sent because that doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, I think
S-
the video will help
So
you.
I know how to do that. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, so it looks like I've been doing a majority of the combos. Like it seems like I got the weapon pretty much down. It's just a few things I need to figure out. So how far would you say I am through the game? Probably like 2/3 as far as like
Um,
main story.
I mean, it's considers also what you count main story because like the first three chapters are
To make credits roll.
to make the
That's
first
what I
credits
would say.
roll. You're like 2/3
Okay.
because technically it's like people are complaining online. Like technically, it's a fucking 20-hour tutorial.
Seems like it.
Um, because like even when the first credits roll, like it's really not even the end of the game. There
Yeah.
is three more chapters that are not considered post game. I mean, they are and they aren't. You know, to some people they are, some people they aren't.
Okay.
Like so you got chapters 4, 5, and 6, and then like the real post game starts,
Yeah.
which is just grinding materials and waiting for master rank. Dude, this
Yeah.
guy's like
I'm
after
looking
me.
forward to when they start doing the DLCs or
Yeah,
updates
so
and stuff.
they're like waiting a month pretty much. Like the first part of April is when they're releasing the first major update. Um, so I'm pretty excited for that. It gives a lot of people a chance to, play the game.
Yeah. And I
And
guess we should mention we've been able to play the game mostly together. It is like mostly co-op through the whole game. It's kind of like a Dark Souls type of deal where you can only join in when the quest begins. And normally, a quest doesn't begin until you're fighting like a monster. You're not like in the same world the whole time. But well, I
I
guess we
think
haven't been able to do the environment link because you got too far
yeah.
ahead of me.
Well, you stopped playing right away.
You played for 16 hours the first day.
Hey, hey, hey. I was
I
having
didn't have a
fun though,
fucking chance.
Joe.
You were like 16 hours in. I was 3 hours in.
I was having a blast while I was doing it
Yeah.
though. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. but you fucking flew by. I didn't stand a fucking chance to catch up. It was impossible.
I mean, I wasn't even trying. Like I was doing the side missions and stuff.
Yeah, which I haven't touched. I've done like a few grinding stuff, just a little bit to get some materials, but aside from that, I've just been doing main story. But I've only put in, well, I guess we did 7 hours yesterday plus five, so I'm like what, 12?
Well, I did a little bit more than you yesterday too.
Yeah, I know. You were on a little earlier than me, and I'm assuming you probably did stuff after.
Yeah, I played a little bit last night and got a few more trophies.
Yeah, I assume so.
I 22 hours is what I'm at.
Yeah. So you're basically double me. But the characters are really cool though. I like the different races in the game. The what are they called? The the f- expert
Calicos?
linguists,
Oh yes, the linguiniest,
the linguinist,
the Wudwuds.
the tributi.
Yeah.
Got to pay the tributi, dude. I love them. They're so cool. There's a funny cutscene of them too, where they like in the intro. Have you seen all the like the different animations they have for it when you're going into your tent?
Yeah.
One your character like sits down really hard on the like hammock thing and shoots your palico up into the thing, and then if one of those other fucking guys falls down, and you like freak out. Or I don't. You kind of freak out, and he just casually walks out. It's great.
Um, I don't want to talk too much about the story, but the story is good. Like I've heard that other monster hunters don't really have a story. It's like get to end game to hunt more monsters.
Oh,
I mean
really?
there's like lore that's hidden throughout the world. You have to like kind of find it more than
Interesting.
like this one's more
This
story
one
focused.
is basically only story.
Yeah. So like when I played Rise, my little bit experience with Rise, there is like no story.
Huh.
Like
And that's one of the things I've really liked about this game so far is the story.
yeah, but so
So,
I don't know that for sure. That's just what I've heard. I haven't really played the other games. Like I played like 3 hours in Rise is like the max I played in Rise before this game. That was like the week before, so I could fucking get a little bit of experience under my belt.
yeah. So I guess I could
Which
talk about the story up to where I am cuz
okay, while you do that, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
okay. Yeah. So basically story starts off with I guess the Hunters Guild. They're doing an expedition of this kind of area that's been thought to be have no like native inhabitants like humans or anything. No one lives there. But they found a boy out in the desert. They pick him up and they notice he speaks an ancient tongue or ancient dialect or something. And and basically his story is he had to run away from his village because of a monster attack. You see that during the opening cutscene, known as what became known as the White Wraith. Um, and then a couple years later, the guild kind of got permission to do a big expedition into the area where the kid came from. So they're kind of trying to find the monster and that attacked him and kind of find its village. So up to my point in the game, basically, you go there, you make your first base camp, you find this other tribe. There, mainly because there was another girl, like kid, who was in trouble. So I don't know what's up with the kids in that fucking area, but they're always like about to die because of a monster. You save the kid. You help her brother because her brother was about to die too. He's a little older though, and that's basically the village where you get your mounts from, or they give you your mount. Um, so basically, you learn about them. It's weird because they have like no weapons in that village, and they think these like wind chimes will save them because these wind chimes sound apparently a lot like a monster that the other monsters around them are afraid of. But the issue is, you find out you travel into the forest area after helping them out with stuff that there's an alpha bear or an alpha bear monster in the forest, and a lot of the bears have been leaving the forest and are getting really close to the village, and the alpha bear is heading there too. Um, and the alpha bear's big and scary, and they decide to enter the village, and everyone freaks out. So we have to save them again. I think before that, though, we fought another monster in the forest, and we met the what are the names again?
Woodwoods.
Woodwoods. So the
Yeah.
Woodwoods are basically living like in a ruins. There's ruins everywhere in this. What was the name of this area? Like this
Forgotten
whole like
Lands.
the Forgotten Lands. So there, you notice ruins
And you see
everywhere.
that Joe forgot it already.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking remember the name of it. I was like, I know it's something just simple, but yeah. So you're starting to notice more of that, and I noticed it a lot in the forest. There was just like it seemed a little bit everywhere. Um, So you go anyhow after fighting some stuff in the forest, you head back, help out the people in the desert village again from the bears that were attacking them. Um and I believe after that, during this whole time, there's been like weird weather from a uh-huh. Yep, that word.
Yeah, phenomenon.
Phenomenon. Yes.
Phenomena.
Um phenomena.
Banana.
But basically what happens after the sandstorm passes, um there's it's what do they call it there? Season of plenty or something or
Yeah.
whatever. Basically, when there's water, grass, and all that, animals come out. Um, and eventually you go back to the forest, and I believe this is when you find one of the big water monster,
Yeah.
and you fight that for a while, and you basically fend it off, like you kind of get rid of it, but later you I think you hear a noise, right? Or
Yeah.
something like that. But then you find the white wraith flew in and killed the monster you were kind of struggling to fight. Um but it was interesting because you find out that it didn't use any physical attacks. Um
It
Past that
sucked it.
point. So I believe after this we after that we end up going to the new fire area we unlocked. Whereas a bunch of like the village people from the desert trade with these other guys. They go there. There's three tribes there. They all like work around forges and stuff using monster materials and crap. You notice that they're doing like a festival there, which is like igniting a furnace or a forge or something.
The Great Forge.
The Great Forge doesn't start, so that's a problem. Then you go find their fuel source, and it's like a weird like spiral structure underneath, and it goes into the caverns and stuff. But you do some investigating. One of the guys from one of the monster hunter units that are with you says he's going to stay behind and look at maybe fixing it or something. We decide to go out to where did we go after that? This is where I got
To
mixed
the
up because stuff happened. Did you
you
go
went to the
down below to investigate it first, right? Into the icy
um
area?
yeah. Well, you went
When
down below to check it out, and
because the
then you
kid
did
remembered the kid that was the
you had to
boy
save the
that
2 kids that ran off for more fuel,
right.
and then
So
they
we
were
helped
fucking
that.
dying, and
Yeah,
then
but it was after that that we go down into the cave and we investigate stuff.
yeah.
But I think what happened after that is they heard that there's a weird weather phenomenon going on again. So we got to go back out to the desert, I believe. Correct? Is that what happened? Is that the correct order?
Something like
I'm tr-
that. Yeah,
I'm
there was
trying to
something
remember when
happened.
we went down in the cave and
Well,
had to fight our way out.
you kinda missed out on the fighting of the bear too.
The fighting of the bear.
Yeah, you fought the alpha bear.
Well, I kind of mentioned that we saved the. I said we saved the village from the bear or the bear attack,
Yeah.
and then after that we went back to the forest and bad. There's a lot of bouncing around. Anyhow, somewhere in this point, we fight the alpha of the desert area, which is some big bird monster, which is really cool.
Right now,
Yeah, but
he's a wyvern.
before we started fighting it, the white wraith was kind of jumping it, and you notice it was absorbing the energy of the monster. So that's how it was killing the other one.
He's sucking it.
It was sucking it. But after you defeat that, I think we go back to the forge area,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, because the weather seems to be better and the forge seems to be working. Then, or I guess
Or
the forge ignites then, and then you get jumped by some monkeys because they don't like the forge going.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then the monkeys, you fight off the monkeys, and Joe got fucked up by one of the monkeys. Um,
I got messed up when there's two of them there. And I didn't that was around the time when I was starting to learn to use items a little more, like using the cool drinks and stuff. And I need to remember to eat food more often. Food's an important part of the game. It just gives you a
yeah.
buff to your max health and stamina and stuff.
So then after I explained to Joe that he just needed to survive and they'll split up after a minute, he got that. Then you get back to the forge, and then the monkeys get fucked up after that, and then you got to go fuck up what fucked up the monkeys, which is a fire to puss.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how, I don't know if I like that one. Basically, it's just a giant like
Fire
octopus that's like
octopus,
made out of oil or something.
fire to puss.
I liked him. He was a cool fight. He was pretty easy. Like I don't know why. Like it was just so funny hearing that Bomba struggled with him because he was so easy for me. Not easy. He takes a while for me to kill just because of his health. Like even when you joined, we were like taking forever just to get his health down
Yeah,
because
he
I
was
was fighting him for
tanky.
like 20 minutes or something before you even got there.
Yeah,
But
he was pretty tanky.
he was tanky. It took long enough that I ran out of items. But he wasn't that bad. And the funny thing is, I'm weak to fire, like majorly. My armor is not good for that. I have like a negative 15 resistance to that. But yeah, it was fun. I think we missed something because we had to go down below, investigate stuff. That's where we found the other wub wub, and we had to fight those three things that really kind of tilted me.
That was when we started heading to the Ice Shard Cliffs because they were like, "Hey, we discovered a cave that this kid might have came from." That was after
I don't think
the
that was
Great
after the
Forge, though.
squid. I think that was before. I think that was when we were. I don't
It might
know.
have been. I don't know.
I think it was. It was. There's the. It's hard to keep track because there's a lot of bouncing back and forth between these.
Not that it's a
Like,
bad thing. It does
no, it's
make
not a
sense
bad
why it
thing. It's just
bounces back
yeah,
and
it's just
forth.
I don't remember the order now. It's like I know everything that happened, but the order didn't seem to matter too much. Maybe I could just look it up. Monster Hunter World Story. Doing a really shitty job at explaining it.
No, don't look up the story, Joe.
No,
You're gonna
I'm
spoil
only gonna
yourself
look
for
up to
the
where I'm
ending.
at. I'm only gonna look it up to where I'm at.
He's gonna spoil himself because the ending is fucking awesome, though. Like, so like the cutscenes, I've been quieting down and like listening to the actual story and not talking through them because
Yeah, I've
I
been
do.
listening the whole time.
The story is really interesting for this game. Um, and it does ask a lot of questions like about life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just I want to see just like a maybe I should do walkthrough. Walkthrough would be better. I just need to see which like area you go back and forth between. Okay. Shut up. I don't care about what monsters I fight. I want to know the order of oh, it's going to bug me. Oh, am I looking at the wrong game?
Maybe
Oh,
what
I'm
game are
looking
you
at
looking at?
world. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shit. It auto filled in. Let's do wilds. There we go. So let's see, chapter one. Okay, so there's the beginning, the whispering winds. Then you go to the forest. What you find in the forest, investigating. I'm not the chat. Am I to chapter two? Yeah, chapter two is the.
Yeah, you're in chapter 2.
Yeah, so okay, take me to this. Okay, here. Here we go. So basically arrive at this town. They go over what's happening. You save the kid from that went to gather fire for the forge, or not fire, but oil or something. Um, right after that happens, that's when they hear about the desert storm going on.
Okay.
Then we go fix the desert, and then we come back, and then we investigate the thing. Then I'm assuming by the time we get back up, that's when he already has a fix, and that's when the forge goes off, and then that's when you fight all that stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
we were kind of there.
Yeah, I forgot
We were,
that what's his name fixed the forge.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because let's see, I don't know if this is the one that I'm looking at. Yeah, because you go underneath and see the big white light, and that's when he's recognizing the passages and stuff and how all that works. Um, then you fight those monsters that, or no, you fight the spider bat, or yeah, the spider bat thing that got the wub wub. And I love that wub wub. He just looks like a wizard, and he speaks better than all the other wub wubs we've heard.
Yeah, he has actual
God,
speech.
yeah. So after we do all that investigating, uh, interesting, because oh my god, I wish they like had another like the site I'm looking at doesn't have like a next button, or at least not that I'm seeing to the next part of the chapter. Because I'm
Yeah,
like having to like close out of this, go back to the other thing, and then scroll again. Yes, after
don't
we come
spoil
back up
yourself.
from the down below thing. That way, no, I'm not. I'm like at the end of the chapter, so I know where I'm at exactly. But yeah, so I think we did a decent job of explaining kind of as far as like timeline wise, we were close.
We should have
It was-
prefaced this. This is spoiler warning.
this is it is spoiler. If we're talking about it, it's going to be spoilers. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There, it doesn't. How much do I have left?
I mean,
Let's see,
there's like
like from the official guide, because I'm at the end of chapter two. So there's chapter three. And that's it. So I am literally 2/3 of the way through. As long as the third chapter is roughly the same length. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's just hard to not like because you know more than I do, so I don't know necessarily what's all going on, and I'm like I got more questions
yeah,
than I do answers.
and yeah, that's how it goes. It's how the cookie crumbles. So they say.
Yes, yeah. God, a cookie sounds nice.
Dude, I was looking at these cookies earlier today. They popped up on my feed, and it was they were cheesecake filled cookies. So they were what were they?
Okay.
They were sugar cookies, but like on the inside had cheesecake in them.
I mean, I definitely would try them.
They looked delicious, Joe.
God,
I haven't had a cookie in
how's
so long.
yeah? How's the weight loss thing going?
I mean, I've kind of like I'm I don't know. It looks like I'm losing weight. Like I can tell that I'm losing weight, but I'm like it's showing that I've lost weight, but it's like I'm not going down any. Like if that makes any sense.
Like which way? Like
Like
you
my waist is getting smaller.
okay, interesting.
Like
I feel like I'm having the opposite. Like when I look in the mirror, I don't notice that I've lost weight, but according to the scale, I'm down like a ton.
yeah, I mean I'm down a ton still, but I was at 205 this morning, I think.
Nice.
But there's definitely a I can see a change.
Yeah. I'm down to like 191 now.
Yeah.
So my goal I think is around 170s somewhere. And then I'm gonna switch up diet and workout style. Really, I've only
But
been doing like
yeah,
some push-ups and sit-ups and stuff, and then I've been riding my bike or the stationary bike a lot. But that's all I do. Once I get down low enough, I'll try to start putting on some muscle again.
but yeah, I feel like I've put on some muscle. I think
I
like I
definitely
definitely
haven't.
I have,
I probably lost some, honestly.
which would make sense while you haven't seen
Yeah,
any like growth.
yeah. I mean, I think my chest might have got bigger just because of the sheer amount of push-ups I've been doing, or at least tightening up, maybe. Because I haven't been, I took like a week off because I was getting really sore. My back was really hurting, so I like kind of like chilled out for a week. But I do like because I work from home, so every hour I was doing like 20 push-ups. So I was doing around 160 or more push-ups a day, which isn't too much, but it's definitely like a lot more than I normally would do. And spreading out through the day is easy.
Yeah, I spend my day walking around like all day,
See,
and
that's
then I
if I had a job like that, I'd probably be doing a lot better.
like today. What I did all day today was walk around and dumped buckets all day. So
Nice.
I carry these buckets that fill up with water all the way to the top. So it's like 50 pounds of water. You
Yeah.
know, it's 7-gallon buckets is what I dump. So I'll carry them like 25, 30 feet to dump them. And I do that 8 or 9 times a day. So that's why I feel like I've gained muscle is because of those,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, definitely. I have an office job, so I sit on my
Yeah,
ass all day.
I do. It is,
That's why I
it
gained so
fucking
much
sucks.
work or weight when I started working.
Yeah, it fucking sucks, like carrying them. And like my feet are always wet after I dump them. Like I always spill the water. Um, but yeah, it's going.
uh, anything else you got going on?
I pre-ordered a game on Amazon for the first time today.
Yeah, what did you pre-order?
Uh, something you've been meaning to pre-order, and I don't think you realize it's coming out soon.
The Elden
Because
Ring?
neither did I. Neither did I.
Is it the Elden Ring?
Sudoku 1 and 2 HD remaster
Uh, see, I don't know anything about this game. I was interested in him. I have other stuff to play.
comes out in 2 days.
Yeah, I don't think
So
I'm playing that.
I pre-ordered it just so I could have it to play later because it's just an RPG. But I do not have time to play it right now because there's
Yeah, I
two
don't.
other games this month that I'm wanting to play.
I gotta finish Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm currently while we're talking, I am grinding some levels in Dragon Quest HD2 or the Dragon Quest Jesus Christ. Dragon Quest 3, the remake. Um which I should have been done with a long time ago, but I've been grinding through the post game. After you get past a certain point, it just becomes a grind fest because you gotta beat a boss in a certain amount of turns.
Yeah,
So that's all I've been doing.
I did not do that.
No. Well, I kind of I slowed down to a lot once I got to the post game because it's like I'm pretty much done.
There was
There's a few
just
extra things I can do.
for me, there's other stuff that I was wanting to do. Like I wanted to finish that Celebi shiny hunt, which I did, which I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Um, because that took fucking forever.
It's just so
There's this
hard for me
game.
to get into a game. Yeah, there's this one.
In this game, I'm fucking balls to the walls. Like
Yeah.
I'm playing it right now, doing
Yeah.
hunts, like
Are
grinding
you? Yeah,
materials.
yeah. See, I have plenty of games I need to play. I struggle picking one and starting it. Like that is my biggest
Yeah.
issue.
I mean, now that I started this one, I'm like, okay, I have a goal. I'm gonna set my goal. I know exactly what I'm wanting for my goal, which is to platinum this game.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fucking work, but I have, I've been doing the trophies, I'm getting them. Um, I'm at 25 trophies now out of 50.
Nice.
Um, it shouldn't be too much harder to get I mean, some of the trophies are just grind trophies. Like honestly, like you got to get a bunch of gold crown monsters.
Okay.
Um, and we've technically only seen one so far because I think they're mostly in the post game.
Mm.
Um, like that alpha bear, he's a
Yeah, yeah,
gold
yeah.
star. So that's a
Interesting.
gold star guy. Um, but I'm assuming more of those would be available in the post game, just because it's like, why would why would there be a lot like that are not story related,
Exactly.
And they added a thing for the binoculars, which I've never used. I just started using them, where like you can scan monsters, and they um, you scan a monster, and it'll show you if it's a gold star or not, so you can choose to fight it or not.
Okay. Are you just roaming around the open world looking at monsters?
Right now I'm just grinding materials.
So that's like the one thing I should mention. Like I haven't had time to really go around and explore because mainly because I was trying to catch up to you a little bit in story, and I've just beelined it for every story thing. I haven't taken the time to look around.
Yeah, I mean, I have done side like during my playthrough, I did a few side quests, did a lot of story, messed around a lot. Like I helped you with your stuff, I did Bomb's stuff, I did several other monster quests. I was just fucking off. Like
Yeah.
that's why it took me 22 hours to beat the game. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've had a blast doing so.
Hmm. Trying to think of what else we did this week. If you haven't listened to it, we did a little 12-minute special episode on the Pokemon Day stuff. So that was the thing. We started. Oh, that's another thing. We started our little Lord of the Rings game, Return to Moria,
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm really into it. I want to play it again this week if you're down.
yeah. I mean, I'll play it one day this week. Um, Tonight I think I might stream after the podcast. Honestly,
Yeah.
I am wanting to continue the story a little bit of Wilds,
Okay.
because I'm pretty close. Like
Hmm.
I need to I'm like I mean I'm not like close, but I mean it's hard for me to like say without like saying what I'm doing.
Yeah. So
I've got
don't.
my hunter I'm at my I got my hunter rank up, so I can do the next part of the story, because after in post game every 5 hunter rank you get a new part of the story.
Oh, okay.
So I'm at hunter rank 15 right now, so I can do the next part of my story. And so I've just been grinding materials, but I want to do the story parts on stream.
Yeah, yeah. I getcha. Interesting. Man, did I tell you what happened? I don't think I did. You saw the picture of me trying to put in my engine into the car, right?
Oh yeah, it looked fucked.
Oh my god, dude. I don't fuck. I got motor mounts for it, right? Because mine used to be a 6 cylinder, so I had to get different motor mounts to put in my 302. The brackets that mount to the shock tower things where that hold up the engine, there's 3 bolt holes, right? The originals used all 3 bolt holes. My new plates that I got came in with 3 bolt holes, and when I held them up to it, there was one of the bolt holes was slightly off. I'm like, "Ah, fuck. They misaligned a hole." So we we were kind of bitching at first because we tried putting them all in, then realized the holes were off on both of them, which should have been a red flag. But of course, me and my dad are kind of dumb when it came to that, and they didn't send instructions, which was another problem. And of course, I ordered these through CJ Pony Parts, which isn't they're kind of like a distributor. They're not like the actual site that makes the parts. so you can't always get the instructions from them. So yet Saturday I had to eventually like hunt down who manufactured it and find their instructions. But we like kind of like used the plasma cutter and elongated the holes to make them fit and put it in. Then we got the motor over the engine bay. We got it all angled in and stuff because we had the transmission on it, so we had to like take it in at a steep angle to get it in. Um, and we spent forever trying to like figure out why this wasn't lining up. And I was looking at it, I'm like, brother, there's like 6 inches uh to reach the bolts. Like it is way off to get to the motor mounts. Turns out you were only supposed to use two of those bolt holes instead of all three, like the original.
Mm.
They and like I finally looked up the instructions. They say don't use this bolt hole. And I was like, you motherfuckers, why'd you put three on there then? I'm assuming because it's used on other cars, because I'm assuming a lot of Fords back then used the same setups. But
Yeah.
oh, it pissed me off. Luckily, the hole that we cut out is the one that you don't use, so it didn't affect anything. That would have fucking sucked. But then after we did that, if it was all a lot closer. But now we're having an issue of the because mine's a manual transmission, um the shifter is getting caught in the tunnel, like the where it pokes through the bottom of the floor. It's like pinching itself in there. It's not like really centering up easy. So and my dad was way drunk by the time we got to that point in the day because we spent forever trying to fix everything. Um, we eventually gave up, but I'm hoping next week we can get it correctly in. What I'm gonna do is line it up with the hole in the floor first, and then wiggle it around in front to get the bolt holes to line up. Hopefully, supposedly there's no cutting to elongate the hole. The video I watched, um, the CJ Pony Parts has like a series where they upgrade Mustangs with the parts from their store, and they did this upgrade that I'm doing. They had to cut a hole in their floor, but they said it's because they put an aftermarket shifter on that transmission I bought. They said if you don't have the aftermarket shifter, you don't need to cut a hole. But it kind of almost seems like I need to trim a little, so I'm really questioning. All I know is it is a bitch to put an engine in. It shouldn't have been that hard. We probably would have been done if we didn't spend forever fucking around, not realizing that we put the engine mounts in wrong, and that kind of just pissed us off for the rest of the day. So if it wasn't for that, it might be installed, but it's not. It's still kind of blocked up now and held up by the cherry picker in the engine bay.
Mm.
So hopefully next weekend I'll have an engine in my car, and then I can
Woo.
start putting all the parts I have for it on. I got my alternator in. I got my starter put onto the engine. That was another thing we did, I guess, is we put the starter on and got it, tested it, so it turns over the motor. So that's good. So I got like a tons of parts to like put on my motor. I just haven't. We were kind of
Yeah.
waiting until we got the motor in because it's a bitch to get it in with all that stuff on it. I don't know. We're getting there. It's just aftermarket stuff and reading instructions. You got to do it.
Reading the instructions explains the instructions.
Yeah, basically, it's just that one was so dumb because it looked like it should have worked, but it didn't. Any other thing I would have looked up, but oh well, whatever. Fuck me. That's how it goes. There, literally every weekend we've got like 3 bolts on that car done. That's basically what it seems like. Every weekend we find a problem and we only get like 3 things tightened down, and half the time the next week we have to undo them and fix it again. Nothing ever has just worked.
I don't think it's supposed to.
No, it never does, and it probably never will. I'm praying next week it will. All I have to do is, I mean, if we can get the engine in, aside from that, hopefully putting on some pulleys should be pretty fucking easy. It's like 4 bolts, that should just fucking work. I'm sure there'll be something that's wrong, but
Yeah. I have
whatever.
not had problems with my car.
You haven't had to do anything with your car.
I mean, I put my points on it and it started up after sitting
Yeah,
for
that's it. That's
20
nothing.
years. Yeah, I literally started my car up. It started, after sitting for 20 years. Like I didn't have to start the
Yeah.
battery or anything. Like my car has, and I drove it around the yard. So I mean,
Nice. I wish I could drive
yeah,
mine around the yard.
yeah, that's all I've done. And then I'm gonna once it warms up a little more, hopefully here in a few weeks, I will do my brakes.
Yeah. There's another thing I have to look into for my Holly sniper setup. I basically that's all plug and play stuff, so that should be a pretty simple thing to get
Hopefully,
in. Hopefully.
hopefully it's plug and play.
But it needs a pressure regulator, which I don't think came with the kit, so I have to order that. And then apparently they want a vented tank. My tank is not vented. Some
You just
tanks
gonna
used to vent through the gas cap. Mine doesn't have that. I don't want to drill a hole into my tank. So I think our idea is we're gonna possibly put it on the filler neck. There's a metal filler neck, so I'm thinking maybe we can attach it to that somehow. It's just a theory. We're not to that point yet. That's a later issue, but it's an idea. The goal now is just to get everything in. We'll worry about starting it up later. Once I get a radiator, the pressure regulator for the fuel, and a radiator that includes hoses and stuff, and I need belts obviously for the run everything. But and getting the fuel lines hooked up, I think it would be and headers. I need headers, but aside from that, I think I could do like a first startup. And as soon as I do that, I'm taking it out. Like even if it's just up and down the driveway, I need to drive the fucking thing. I need to feel like I've done something.
Yeah, mine felt good to drive. Yeah, yeah, like the three main things. There's like three main things I'm gonna do. I'm going to have I'm gonna get a plate welded in where my driver's seat is. Cut that old one out, weld a new plate in, put
Nice.
the brakes on, and new tires. Those are my three things I'm gonna do this year, and
Uh,
it'll be
yeah.
drivable.
I'm worried. The most expensive things I have left are wheels and tires and exhaust. That's like the big things I need. I'm not getting my car painted. I'm gonna fucking drive it like it is for a while, and
Oh,
then
I'm
later.
not I'm not painting it mine or finishing the vinyl top on it this year.
I'm not
I
doing
mean, like
vinyl top. I don't care for the vinyl top.
I'm doing it because it was original and I liked the way it looks like
I
original.
personally don't. I prefer just a straight paint, like metal
Uh,
finish.
yeah, I mean, I just want mine more original.
Mine's not nothing on my fucking car is original. Hell, the
Yeah,
front frame's not original.
most of mine's original. So I'm gonna try to keep it that way. Um, but I mean, it'll. I want a building this year. The main thing I want this year is the building. So that's what I'm kind
Yeah,
of focusing on.
nice. I don't. I remember you brought it up in the group chat a while ago, but are we doing a magic night sometime soon? I was just thinking
I
of another
fuck.
podcast
I
idea, so I was
I fucking want to, but no one responded on a date.
because I'm literally normally free whenever, so it
I
doesn't
know
matter
you
to
are,
me.
but
It's them.
I wanted Nick and Mikey to like respond with a date that they would be free.
Yeah, and we need to get Mikey on sometime. It sounds like he wanted to come on. It's just always trying to catch him.
But yeah, I mean, I just need a date for them to be free.
Yeah,
And like I don't care where we have it. If Nick's available at his house, one weekend, I wouldn't mind driving over there. It doesn't bother
yeah,
me.
yeah,
It just I need them to be free. And if it warms up, we can have them at my house. My house is kind of central too,
yeah. For the most part,
with
I'm
with
the
Ni-
only person who's like way out of it.
yeah. I mean, way out. It's like 30 minutes for you to get there. It's
Yeah,
20 minutes for Mikey and Nick to get to my house.
not even right.
It's like 20 minutes to Nick, like 15, 20 minutes, depending
I
on
was
the
gonna
speed I
say
go.
it's a trip for me to go over to Nick's.
Yeah. I mean, to get to Nick's, like Nick is like 5 minutes from my work, and my
Yeah,
work's 25 minutes away from my house.
so
Mikey's
yeah,
closer to me, but I mean,
but
yeah, I want to get together with everybody. There's a guy at my work
yeah.
who's wanting to learn how to play too, and he bought a deck, and I was like, yeah, I play with you. We just gotta get some time. And he's
Yeah.
always wanting to play standard at lunch. I'm like, dude, I don't want to play standard. Standard is not fun to me.
Yeah. I haven't even played standard because it just doesn't look appealing.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's because I whoop your ass." And I'm like, "No, it's because I don't enjoy it. Like, I don't enjoy having 4 of the same card in a deck. I like the randomness of it."
Yeah. I like getting pissed when I don't get what I need.
Right, yeah. That's what I enjoy.
I like raging over everything. Getting pissed when my commander gets sent back to the command zone for the 5th time because I'm a threat.
Fucking Kalia is a threat.
God, that was when I would fucking like I would rage about that because that was the deck or I think it was fucking Mikey
Nick.
recommended it.
Yeah,
Mikey
then Nick made
recommended
it.
it, and then Nick made it, and then I instantly got put down as a fucking threat to begin with. Ever like as soon as I got that deck, I was
Yeah.
punished for having something
Mhm.
decent.
Yeah, that's how it
What a
goes.
fucking great first experience.
Uh,
And then my other deck was just not a threat at all.
no, your other deck still isn't a threat, really.
It depends. It's either instant or I don't do shit.
I it's been a while since Joyra lost.
Yeah. Well, none of us have really built anything to deal with
It's
that.
hard, and I mean, it doesn't. It just takes sometimes it takes a long time for it to pop off. Like I don't look like a
Yeah.
threat until it's too late. And
Yeah, that's the
it only
thing.
really takes one turn and then I'm done.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
my decks are like a bit of a slow build. Like my Minthara deck, which is the one we were talking about, that's not really a threat. It's more of a slow build, unless if I get a couple things. Like it depends, but and then Kudo, we haven't played with him too much. We haven't played much since I
No.
made him. We
I have a lot I
twice
have a
maybe.
I have yeah, I have 3 decks that I haven't got to really use yet too,
Yeah,
that I've been wanting
because
to.
Kudo adds an interesting part to the game where everyone becomes bears and it's hard to keep track of for a second.
Yeah.
And I fuck myself sometimes with it too. So I'm like, I still have to learn how to play him. But I think he could be decent. He's not gonna stand up to your fucking Joyra. He might help a little, but he ain't gonna do shit about it. Then I don't Mikey's decks, I don't know which ones scare me the most. It just depends. I gotta put him down
Yeah.
early normally, depending on what he's playing. And I've done it before. Like when I got that one guy out and instantly killed him first turn, I think, right? Or was it second turn? Whatever. One of my guys
Yeah.
drops you down to
You
1 HP as
fucking
soon as I hit
yeah,
him.
you fucked them. Yeah, I just wanna play. Like, I want
Yeah.
them to respond with a date we can play because I would love to play this month.
Order a couple pizzas,
Yeah, fucking pizza
chill in
and
the garage with some pinball. I really want to go to your house so I can play pinball.
yeah, I mean, we can go to my house, it doesn't bother me, like, it'd be cool.
So we just need to get everyone. Mikey, if you're listening, I got a list of things for you. First off, magic. That's more prevalent. Second off, Zelda multiplayer. We need to get that set up and do it sometime. Third, I want you. This is for you too, Matt. I got the archipelago thing
Yeah,
installed, and I need someone
we
to
just
test it with. So I need you to install it.
yeah, I can install it.
So I want to run a test run. Like I want to do this way before we need to actually play it, which is coming up in a month. So like because there's a lot of things I can see going wrong with this. So I'd like to run some test runs. And what was that the third thing? Fourth thing, Mikey. Uh next year, next spring, Japan trip. I want a definite answer.
I, uh, I may change my answer for next year, depending.
It, depending. Oh no.
There might be another trip I'm wanting to go on next year.
Oh no, I'm going to go solo.
It's Alaska, Joe.
Alaska. Why the fuck would you want to go to Alaska?
Fuck, it's beautiful in Alaska.
It's cold.
Not in the summertime.
Still. Why
It's
Alaska?
fucking
You could go to Japan again.
but Alaska I can go to Alaska for a second time.
Exactly. I'd rather go to Japan for a second time than go to Alaska.
I don't know. We'll see when it comes closer. We'll see how I'm
Well,
feeling.
well, the issue with the Japan trip is we got to plan that like
Yeah,
close to
now.
the end. We need to possibly start planning it now or end of beginning of summer. midsummer, I would say. We need like 6 months.
Yeah. But I think that's everything for today.
Yeah.
Hope everyone enjoyed the podcast. Our two listeners.
Woo. I don't know who they are, but I
One
respect
of them's
you. Not
Joe.
really. Yeah, I take it. Yeah, I don't respect you. You little
He doesn't
bitch.
respect me.
Shit. All right. Well, anywho, we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.